All right, traders, another green day in the SPY. Pretty nice move. Let's look at what I'm watching for tomorrow. DTEA, big pop 4 sessions ago, 2-day pullback, and then kind of right back up. Pretty interesting if it breaks over this 4-day high. And that's sort of speculatively, if that's the right word, related to pot stocks. I think people are still speculating that this David's Tea, which the way I understand it is like a Starbucks but for tea products, may someday come out with a cannabis-infused tea beverage. I could be wrong. I think that's the speculation there. So pot stocks were pretty strong today, and you'll see a theme here. And so DTEA is worth watching if for no other reason for that. TLRY had this nice pop a few sessions ago. Now, this has been lagging the other big pot names. But I still think it's worth watching. It's had a lot of good news back here, and it just hasn't gotten going. But I do like this. It popped to 82.25 here, and it's been going along sideways. Today's high was 81.88, so kind of back over 82. You might just kind of break out this little flag, maybe head back up to 100. So let's keep our eyes on TLRY, especially if the pot stocks all get going again. SXTC. Inside day, but closed pretty strong. If you were in chat today, I called this long. I missed the initial move here, but then I called it long over this flag right there, right about 680, and it ended up going up to almost 8 and settling in at 711, but I still like the inside day and how strong this thing is, and it's certainly well off of its highs. You can tell it's a recent IPO, but this one moves pretty well when it moves, so I like this. AWSM. All right, so you had the breakout right here. If I scoot the chart over there. Okay, so that's a nice pattern, right? A big pop, a lower high, nice little cup and handle going, and then we played this breakout on this day, and then it pulled back for a couple days, had it on watch again today, and then went out at its highs. Closing at its highs, kind of sitting right at a 2-day high. The whole number 3 might become an inflection point, and the most recent high was 350. So I do like this setup a lot. It basically pulled back into the 8-day moving average and starting to turn back up. Certainly one to watch tomorrow. CCCL, big pop back here, lower high, and it seems to have found support, starting to curl up again. So let's keep our eyes on that one. COTY, very big volume day today, up to the top of this range. It may break out of this range tomorrow or one of these days. I do like the volume today, so we're going to watch that one. AVCO. No trades in it today, but it seems to have found support. Let me switch to 15-minute candles here. It seems to have found support right here. Yesterday it hit 6. Today it hit a high of 580. One thing I might look for tomorrow is if it breaks 580. If it breaks today's high tomorrow, 580, then we know that over 6 could be another kind of inflection point trade. It's a weird stock. I mean, it went from 20 million shares 4 sessions ago down to under 400,000 shares today. But because of this big move here, and then on an intraday basis, it made a big move here, and now it's pulling back on much lower volume. I do want to keep this one on my radar, all right? Let's go back to the daily there. So that's AVCO. YGYI, speaking of pot stocks, this is a low float pot stock, but it really released back here, and then a lower high here, and you've got to like this pattern. With the pot stocks being really strong, this pop here and this sideways move, love this over 8. Let's see, the high back here was 791. So you maybe argue if it takes out 791, it's probably just going to rip through 8. And you can see from back here, this thing can really move at times. So I really like this chart setup. Tough trader, but when it gets going, it really does get going. So I want to have it on watch. PYX made a massive move today. If you were in chat, I think it was Wayne that called this basically through the half or over the highs, over that 2-day high. And it just took off. What a great call. And now, let's go back to 5s. It kind of pulled back in the afternoon, and it's made a big 2-day run. So it's one of those I want to keep on watch, but I'd like to see it come in for a day or two first. But it didn't cost me anything to have it on a chart, so I will. BOXL, nice pop back here. Lower high here on really nice volume and kind of flagging. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that one. And then TTNP is the last one. Nothing pretty here, but it did have a recent reverse split. It looks like about a week ago. And then after hours, as I'm talking, after hours still open, it's trading at $1.68. Sometimes when I switch to 60s, it'll show it. No. Anyway, her 60-minute candles is trading at $1.68. So, right up in here. and they had news after hours. So I am expecting for a possible gap and go tomorrow. This will be on Gap Play Watch tomorrow, especially with that recent reverse split and gapping on good news. Something could come of that one. That's it. That's plenty to watch, and we'll add some gappers in the pre-market as we always do. So let's do what we always do tomorrow. Work together and let's make some money. All right. See you guys in chat tomorrow.